Hello everybody, Mark V. Dub with Gardening Gone Wild. Hey, welcome back to the greenhouse. It's such a beautiful day here in Utah on the February day. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're getting ready for gardening season because it's just around the corner. Can you believe we're in, did I say February? I think I did say February. Well, guess what? We're in March. This is the second day of March. Can you believe that? I've got a great video for you today. I know there's lots of people out there that have so many questions and frustrations about starting seeds and how to start them, where to buy your seeds, what seed soil do you use? Well, guess what? In this video, I've got the answers for you. So stay tuned and let's talk soil seed soil. We'll talk seedling soil. We'll talk about soil, the soils you need to use to start seeds with in your own garden. Hello everybody. I'm so glad that you're joining me today to watch this amazing video. I hope you're liking the videos that I've been doing recently. If you do, hit the like button on them. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please push the subscribe button. And by all means, please leave me some comments below or questions, just whatever you want to do to ask me, maybe help me, whatever that means. Just leave a comment. Let's start working together and learning together, okay? So in this video today, I've got 5 different soils that each of the companies claim that they're the best soil that you can use to plant your seeds and start growing your own seedlings, okay? I'm going to cover them. Okay, the first one that I've got is a black gold all-purpose potting soil done by SunGrow. I've got another SunGrow soil mix that's called their seedling and cutting mix. I've got the Fertilome Seedling mix. I've got Miracle-Gro seedling mix. And I've got another third soil from SunGrow called their Propagation mix, which they number at number 5. Okay? Now, I've used the Fertilome and I've used the SunGrow number 5. You're right. Thanks for correcting me on that. But yeah, it's called the number 5, used to be called the number 3 Propagation mix. Has a little bit of different texture into it. The thing that I'm finding about all of these soils is that they basically have the same components in them. Now, a lot of you are familiar with the different potting soils that are out there. Some of you that aren't, there's different components such as peat moss. That's about 85% of all of our soils out there in a potting soil or potting mix are derived from peat moss or sphagnum peat moss, okay? They have perlite, some of them have vermiculite, some of them have a wetting agent, and maybe even a fertilizer charge, and some dolomitic lime. We'll get that right. But what I want to do is I want to take and start off with the Fertilome bag here, okay? And so here's the Fertilome bag. You see that? Yeah, you can see me too. So there's your Fertilome seeds and cutting mix. Let's read what's in it, okay? Here are the ingredients for Fertilome. Spaghnum peat moss, 80 to 90%. Horticulture perlite. Oh, that's a new one to me. I've just always known it as perlite. Now, what is perlite? Perlite's like silicon sand. It's expanded by about 2,000 degree heat because of the moisture in those little sand particles. They expand to a certain thickness, certain size, and then they use it to put it in soils in your potting mixes as an aerator, or you need your soil to be porous so that your roots can get breathe. Okay, so the ingredients are 80% to 90% sphagnum peat moss, 10 to 20% perlite, and they also add a limestone and dolomite. The limestone and dolomite help to adjust with your pH balance, okay? You definitely want to take control of your pH when you're seeding, when you're up potting, when you're transplanting things out in the garden. pHs, the soil, the plants love to be right around 5.5 to 6.5, 7 pH level right in there. Now, that's a whole new video in and of itself, and how can I test for my pH and what the levels are in my soil. We'll get to that in a different video. Let's go to the Miracle Grow, okay? Here we go, right here. There's your Miracle potting soil. Woo! We're trying to get this thing squared up for you. This is not the potting soil, but this is seed starting mix. Okay, Miracle Grow. We're going to look on the ingredients here, and it says the ingredients are you with me? The ingredients are sphagnum peat moss, perlite, fertilizer charge, and a wetting agent. Now, let me talk just a little bit about a wetting agent and a fertilizer charge. A lot of times the fertilizer charge that they have in these mixes, whether it's a seedling mix or it's a potting mix or a potting soil, it's not hardly anything at all. It's like really, really minute, and you just got to remember that don't rely on that fertilizer charge. If the bag says it's in there, don't rely on that to feed your plants, to help your seedlings get a kickstart, because there's not enough fertilizer charge in there. To me, it's more of a draw for you. This is, oh, this potting soil has got fertilizer in it. Oh, this potting soil has a wetting agent in it. So, unfortunately, a lot of these potting soils, these seedling mixes and so forth, are months and even maybe sometimes a year old. So where have they been sitting? You got it. They've been sitting on one of these manufacturer's shelves waiting to be shipped out to the different box stores and hardware stores and garden centers. And then you, as the customer, the grower, get what's been on their shelf for a while. So that wetting agent, it's not going to be very viable, okay? And so just watch for that, because those are the times when you get frustrated because you're scratching your head and you're thinking, geez, Mark, my potting soil or my seedling mix is not soaking up the water. What do I do? Well, we'll talk about that, okay? So hang in there. Now, the next one I've got is the black gold, okay? Where are we at here, Mark? Okay, there we go. This is the black gold seedling mix. This is done by SunGrow, right here, SunGrow, okay? Now, this one also, let's read the ingredients, okay? The ingredients, this product is a blend of 70 to 80% sphagnum peat moss, perlite, calcium silicate, and a wetting agent. Remember that wetting agent that they have that's not probably going to be there when you buy this off the shelf because it's gone. Now, black gold from SunGrow also makes an all-purpose potting mix, okay? Some people will use this to start their seeds in. I really wouldn't recommend it because it's very big particles, and you don't want a lot of big particles and sticks and pieces of bark and stuff in your seedling mix, because it interferes with the sun and the light to hit your seeds so that they germinate properly, okay? So this one actually has ingredients. Oh, now hey, think about this one. You ready for this? This product is regionally formulated. Now, what does that mean, regionally? You live in the southeast? Region. You live in the southwest? Region. You live in the mountain west, like I do? That's the region. So it's regionally formulated for your particular region, okay? So right here on this one, because this is made here in Utah, it's regionally formulated and is a blend of, you ready for this? You got it, sphagnum peat moss, processed softwood bark, compost, and one or more of the following: perlite, pumice, cinders, composted rice hulls, and earthworm castings. Don't we all love earthworm castings, okay? So again, I don't know that I would use this for my seedlings. If this is all you've got, this is all you can find in your box stores because they just don't carry some of the other products, this is probably going to be okay to use, okay? But just think about it. If you've got the other alternatives, use those. Just use this in maybe in your flower pots or your hanging baskets, or maybe a mixture in some of your raised beds and things like that, okay? Now, if you're in Texas, this, just for an example, because it's regionally formulated for whatever region you're in, if you're in Texas, it's a blend of Spaghnum Peat Moss. That's the base of most all your potting soils. Aged fir bark, composted rice hulls, perlite, and earthworm castings. Hey, you got one for Oregon, Idaho, California, Georgia. Oh wow, it's amazing how all of them are, whoa, hey, little earthquake there. All of them are different, but hey, nonetheless, if one of these products is all you've got in your stores and you've got to use it, then go ahead and use it, okay? So let's see what we got here. Here's our black gold right here. See that black gold? And then it's your all-purpose potting mix. Let's cut this baby open and see what we've got here, okay? You ready for this? This is your black gold all-purpose potting mix, okay? Now, I didn't cut a very big hole in that, did I? So let's open that up a little bit so we can get some more of this out of here. Okay, that's probably good right there. Okay, so this is the black gold right here, right? Black gold. Now, what I'm looking at here is I'm actually looking at some soil that is kind of full of sticks, little pebbles of peat moss, other little sticks, other little inert materials that this works. And what's nice with the sticks and the different wood bark and things like that in here is that it helps for porosity. So if you've got a little bit of potting soil that's going to bind together, it's going to kind of mush together or clump together, and when it dries or when it starts to dry out, it's going to be non-porous, and so your roots on your plants aren't going to be able to have the air that they need to grow sufficiently. And so when you have a soil like this with these different inert ingredients other than your peat moss, okay, you've got your peat moss right here, some of the brown materials there, it's kind of ground up. But that's your black gold. I don't see any perlite in there. Oh, actually, wait. Yep, I do. I see one piece of perlite. Does it say on the ingredients that it's got a little perlite on there? Yes, it does. It says that it has just a little bit of perlite. Maybe a little bit, okay? Maybe a little bit of pumice, a little bit of different things like that. So perlite is actually a substance from volcanoes. It's a silicon sand that's actually heated up to about 2,000 degrees. And so I don't know if you can see that in my hand, just that little piece of perlite right here. I'll see if I can find a little larger piece of that, but that actually helps also for porosity, for air pockets in your soil, so that your plants, your roots get that air that they need to grow. Just like you and I, we need air to survive, to live, to grow. And if we don't get air, we suffocate and die. And a lot of times your plants, if they don't get the air in there, they can harm the plants themselves and stuff like that. So that's your black gold, okay? All right, let's put that aside and let's bring over the Sun Grow. This is your black gold seedling mix, okay? Like it says right here. black gold seedling mix. We're going to cut that open with our skizzers right here on the corner. See if I can cut a little bit bigger hole there. Okay, wow, this has got a little bit more perlite in it. I'm not so sure. Whoa, baby, look at that. Whoa, wow. That's your black gold seedling mix. That has got a ton of perlite. You see all the white that's in there? That's actually a perlite. That's your silicon sand. It's heated up to about 2,000 degrees. It expands because of the moisture that's in the sand. You've got your peat moss. Looks like it's got quite a bit more perlite in here than anything else, you know, and so it does have sticks, does have pieces of wood in here that I'm not really fond of when I'm doing my seedlings, because I want my seedlings to be able to get the full benefit from the sun, whether it's the light or the warmth and things like that. But this right here has a lot of perlite in it. Obviously it's going to have a lot of porosity in our soil, in our mix right here of this black gold seedling mix. If it means anything to you, it says that it's natural and organic. So we're going to kind of set that aside over here by the other black gold sunshine mix. Okay. Now let's pull out this Miracle Grow. Miracle Grow again has sphagnum peat moss, perlite, a fertilizer charge, and a wetting agent. Okay. So here, let's cut this open right here, and we'll see if we can't cut a big enough one so that we get that Miracle Grow material out there. Okay. What you're finding in, again, what you're finding in a lot of these soils is that these soils have what's called a the peat moss. There's a lot of peat moss in this stuff. Okay, and so if you've got a lot of peat moss in there, that's really the base substance or component of your potting soil. Now, I'm not sure what this is. This looks like a little bit of sand or dirt or something like that. See if we can get that baby to focus up a little bit for you right there. You see that right there, that sand, and that it looks almost like dirt right there in my finger, in my hands right there. I pulled that out of the potting soil mix. Okay, it's also got some wood chips, some pieces of bark. Does have your perlite. It's got some little bit bigger chunks of perlite than the black gold seedling mix did, and so I'm kind of concerned about the sand and stuff in here. You know, where did the sand come from, and why do they have sand clods mixed in with that in your Miracle Grow potting mix or seedling mix? Let's put this off to the side over here, and then we'll bring over here the Fertilome. Okay, here's our Fertilome right here. This is our seed and cutting mix. I'm going to dump this like right here. Whoa, that's a nice little mix there. I kind of like the looks of that, the Fertilome seed starting mix here. You see that where it says right there? See if I can get that in your picture for you. Not bad. The thing about this is that the peat moss is quite a bit finer, for your seedlings. Sometimes you want it to dry out. You don't want it to just to stay wet in between waterings, because that allows your soil to dry out, your air porosity in your soil with your perlite and different components to allow more air to come down into the soil. I kind of like this. It's quite a bit finer. I've had some really good success with a finer peat moss in my seed mixtures and things like that I want to try to be able to use. And so I think I'm really liking the way that Fertilome looks. Okay, so let's take the Fertilome right here. We'll set it aside, and we'll push it over here by the rest of the other seedling mixes. Kind of see me cut the corner as it falls out of that bag. Okay. Now, like I said, over the years, I've used a ton of SunGrow propagation mix. That's what this is called, is a SunGrow propagation mix. I love this stuff. This is, to me, by far, this is the best seedling mix that I've ever used. You've got your SunGrow propagation mix, you've got your Miracle Grow, you've got your black gold, you've got your black gold seedling mix, your black gold all-purpose soil, and then of course you've got your Fertilome material down here. But as you look at this right here, you look at this mix right here. Let's get you all focused in here, okay? So you guys can see that. That looks pretty good right there. I think my eyes are settling to that. You've got a big old chunk of perlite that's sitting in front of that seed that can have an adverse effect on your seeds germinating, okay? Just imagine being up on a hill and you're cold up on a mountain and the sun is hitting on you and it's really warm and nice, and then all of a sudden a big cloud moves in front of the sun. What happens to the sun, the heat that you're experiencing? It gets blocked and you kind of get cold. I like the Sun Grow propagation mix. So out of the 5 components, or out of the 5 different potting mixes, I'm going to lean more to the Sun Grow propagation mix or the Fertilome Seedling mix. I would use the black gold all-purpose soil that's right here for my patio pots and things like that, my hanging baskets. I would use that for the hanging baskets and pots, okay? I might even mix that into some of my garden beds out in my garden. I'm not sure about the black gold seedling mix. I'm not really liking that because of all the different big particles in there of your bark and your other sticks and things like that. Plus it just is really dry. I mean, if you look at the difference between the black gold, you got that potting mix right, the black gold right here seedling mix, and then you've got the Sun Grow propagation mix right here. This is just so dry, and I'm just thinking, man, I'm gonna have to either use a lot of hot water or figure something out if I was to use that black gold seedling mix. So we've got this the Sunshine or the Sun Grow propagation mix is what we call it, or what they call it. Again, this is probably my favorite, but I'm going to put that right in here. I'm going to get a little bit more and finish filling the end down here at this end. And just right there, I'm just going to kind of mush it in those cells, okay? Each one of these little holes on a seed tray is called a cell. That's what we call them in the horticulture industry, okay? All right. Doing pretty good over there. Let's kind of finish filling that out, okay? Now, before I go any further, guys, this is a very important thing to do, okay? I'm going to get my tag. Here's what I call a tag. This is your plant tag. And on this plant tag, you're going to want to write down the names of your seeds, what you're planting, which part of the tray, if you're using a split tray like this, how many cells that you've done with a particular seed. 2 or 3 things you can use to write on your tags. I like to use a pencil, okay, regular nice little pencil, because if you use a Sharpie, it's going to fade over time as the water hits it, the sun hits it, and your seedlings are going to be in that tray for quite a while. You could use a pen, like a regular ballpoint ink pen. Same thing with that, it fades. Get a number 2 pencil. That's the best thing to do, because when you write on that Sunshine number 5 mix, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it right here in there so that I know that that's what that is, okay? Now, let's go ahead and put the Fertilome. See if we can put these 2 guys next together in the same tray here and see what happens there, okay? Now, usually what I do is I use a nice water trough that I use for horses as I put for my soil bin. Okay, and that's what I don't have here right now. I've got it outside and I usually use that to fill everything. You see the difference already, guys, in the 2 colors of the mixes? Oh my goodness. There's a huge difference in color. Light brown, dark brown. Not very much moisture and a pretty good moisture content right here with the Sun Grow. Okay, this is the Fertilome right over here, and this one is the Sun Grow right over here. All right, here we are. We have got all of our soil right here on this bench, this cardboard piece right here. And we got my 3 trays right here. You see this right here? We got 1, 2, 3 trays. Now, this tray right here was the tray that we had our Sunshine number 5 mix. We had our Fertilome seed starting mix. And then our next tray, we had the Sun Grow Black Gold seed mix. And then we had our Miracle Grow seedling mix. And then also the 3rd tray, we had our Sun Grow all-purpose potting mix. All 5 of the different soils in the tray And right here with this tray, you can see the difference still. Our Sun Grow number 5 propagation mix right here in this nice side of the tray. This is a 128 seedling tray. It's still got its moisture containment there. Now if you look at this one over here, this is the Fertilome seed starting mix, and it's remember we had an issue with trying to get it to take water because it was just so dry coming out of the bag that there was no wetting agent or no attachment of the water molecules to the soil particles. And so that was just one of those things where it's like, wow, what do you do? As we take this right here, we're going to kind of look at all of our different soils. You see those right there? So this tray right over here is our black gold all-purpose potting soil. This one right here is the Miracle Grow. This one is the black gold seedling mix, and then we have our Fertilome seedling mix, and then our number 5 propagation mix by Sun Grow. That, folks, by far I believe this is the one that I'm going to go with. Of course, it's the one I've used forever, and like I said, I'll definitely put links down on the bottom of this video for you to be able to pull up for Sunshine or Sun Grow company, as well as Fertilome, Miracle Grow, and the black gold is all part of the Sun Grow. Okay, and I'm glad everybody's watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you're watching. Hit the like button, and by all means, please make sure that you leave a comment, okay, and share it with whomever you'd like. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water bottle and I'm going to go ahead and water things here. So just bear with me for just a minute. I'm going to put this camera right here on this for you, and you're going to be able to watch as I take and water each of the 3 trays right here in front. Okay, you got it? Looks good. Here we go. We're going to pump up our water bottle. Now, I haven't shown this too much, but since I don't have any water here in the greenhouse, I like this water bottle right here that I'm watering everything with, because it helps me to be able to water while I need to here in the greenhouse. It's a 1-gallon water with this awesome little wand on it. Okay, so here's my Sunshine mix. Remember, that took the water pretty good, right? That took the water really well. We're going to water it again. But I think that doing this a couple of times like we've done it, this is our 2nd time from the other day when we did it. And now here's the Fertilome. We're still trying to get this stuff to take water. Doggone it, you can see that it's not really taking the water by the way that it's puddling up right here. You see all that puddle right there, and then you see all the puddle right over there. That means that it's not taking the water. You see how dry that is. That's kind of a bummer that Fertilome is not taking the water very well. Okay, so now let's go ahead and spray the black gold seedling mix, and we're going to water that in pretty good and see how that takes the water. You got that okay? You're watching that? And then here's our Miracle Grow. Remember, we had the Miracle Grow had a difficult time yesterday or the other day taking any kind of water. We're going to see what it does again. Okay, it looks like it's still repelling the water, and that's not a good sign. Again, some of those things could be that it's been sitting in the bag forever, because remember, these soils aren't made yesterday or last week. These soils have been made up for months. They're sitting in these bags on pallets, either in the sun or in a warehouse somewhere or on a truck, and any kind of a wetting agent that's in these soils is drying up. And so when you get it from the store and you go to use it to plant your seedlings, or even up pot your seedlings into a larger container to get them to grow bigger, you're dealing with this puddling up. You see right here with this Miracle Grow, it's starting to take a little bit, but it takes quite a while for it to soak in the water. Now the black gold all-purpose soil back here on the back, we're watering it. This is our fifth soil of the 5, and it seems to be taking the soil okay. It still has some issues with puddling up. I see a little bit right there. but that's still okay because that soil looks like it's starting to take that water. Okay. Now, this is the one I recommend, folks. The Sunshine No. 5 mix, okay, right here. If you can read that. Sunshine No. 5 mix, that's the one I definitely recommend. That pretty much does it for our soil testing video. I hope you've enjoyed what you've watched. If you have and you like it, hit the like button, okay? If you have any comments, please make them down below. And subscribe, okay? Just click subscribe button, and if you want to share it, share it. And if you want to see more videos that I'm going to be making here pretty soon, go ahead and hit that bell, because that will allow you to know when I have new videos coming out, okay? You know the drill. Do it, okay? I'm Mark V. Dub, Gardening Gone Wild. I hope you've enjoyed this video, because there's many more to come. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.